Now, our next topic is why Trump will make a great president. Now,
We're taking turns.
you hear so much in different types of belief systems on this. Like he doesn't have a lot of experience in politics, which, by the way, the last 30 or 40 years, the politicians that have become president had phenomenal experience in politics, but have done nothing for the American people.
That's actually true.
And so, honestly, I mean, he has experience running businesses. And that is great because at his level, I mean, he's already dealing with countries. I mean, he's already done business with China. He's done business with Japan. He's done business with Mexico. All these world leaders know who he is.
Right.
We're not just taking some senator from somewhere and going, here, now you need to establish these relationships with these countries. He's already been there, done that. Plus, I heard one person go, well, he has an ego. Well, all successful men or women have egos.
Yeah.
I have never met a successful person that woke up in the morning and go, today I'm going to suck at business.
Yeah, well, he has a sense of confidence too. He is confident in his actions, and he does have perhaps a lot of. He has a large crowd he's already working with. He is world known. He's known. He's very known in Moscow. Perhaps when I see those news, I see him all the time on there. And I'm sure the other countries are kind of the same way because everyone kind of watches him. And there are many reasons he can be great. I mean, so far from what we've seen in his first 100 days, what he wants to do, those are all the great things. And we already saw an early kind of head start. For crying out loud, people get to keep their jobs, right?
That's what I'm saying. I find the fact that he has that ego very compelling because he literally wants to be the best president. He wants to be the best president of all 45 presidents or 44 prior to him, and then any president in the future. Yeah. So anybody who really wants to be the best throughout time is who you really want in that position. Because they're going to go in there and they're going to do what it takes to really make them a great president, to be remembered throughout time. And I figured that if he does at least half of what he wants to do, like bringing jobs to the United States. I mean, people are always talking about the low pay. Because in reality, I mean, 35, $8 was what? $8 and something cents is the minimum wage. That has been the minimum wage for the past 20 years. Right. I remember at 16, that's how much I got paid. But yet the cost of things goes up. And it really boils down to we don't really have unions here.
Yeah.
We have a couple of unions.
We got away from that a little bit.
We got away from that. So there's nobody really defending the common worker. So if we really want to be a capitalistic nature and do it right, then we got to have more jobs. That's what causes people to pay more. Because right now there's a lot more workers than there are actual jobs. Like that position I went to apply for. I mean, it's a high-end position, a high position. And you remember when I came in a suit.
Yeah. And
I was 1 in 30 people applying for that position. A high-level position. There were 30 other...
That's a pretty high demand.
So, I mean, that lets me know that if you go for a low-end position, instead of having 30 people, you're going to have 500 people.
Yeah.
1,000 people. So what are your odds at this point? We really need to get as many jobs as we can and then make the positions that the companies are wanting to fill, make them have to pay more in order to compete. Because if you have more jobs, then we're wanting to have better quality people, so we're willing to pay more. The cost,
Yeah, we have to create spaces, and those are the low-paid jobs, and we basically have to start with a low class, mid class, and kind of get going, and supply people with a job because that's big. We need to do that. In industry, we got to have that too because that's big. It supports the country and it provides probably more jobs than anything else.
Exactly.